I mean, a lot of all the problems in the world generally are fiat monetary problems at their base.
Which sounds crazy to people who haven't gone down the rabbit hole.
Well, the reason to keep fiat money, like one of the core reasons is, theft, all that stuff. But the core steelman argument is you need flexible money to be able to step in when there's problems. So you need a Band-Aid to cover the symptom of the problem is the core reason to have the problem in the first place. And so that stems, we live in this world of that. And I guess it seeps into our mindset where we don't really look to the core of the problem, because it's a long ways to look to the core of the problem. I mean, in the understanding of Bitcoin, I've spent so many hours trying to understand the fiat system to the point where I understand it better than anyone else I know. And every time you step, it's like, oh, wait, euro dollars? What are euro dollars? Wait, so how do you calculate the M2? How do you know how much money? Like you just can't really get answers. You just keep going down this rabbit hole, and it can consume you until you find this rock of purchase, this solid thing that is Bitcoin. And then, I mean, if money's the core problem, you don't look at money, it's going to be hard to solve the rest of the problems of your life, because you're going to be continuously dealing with debasement and the problems of that. And so when you can find that rock, when you can find that stability, when you can find that thing that I just have this, I don't worry about it. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think where my money goes. I can just build and live my life, and hopefully this thing appreciates. It's a pretty core solid thing to build on, and you can go so much further when you have a steady base.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, well, I've thought a lot about this. It's this immovable object that when you tether yourself to it financially or ideologically, you can now see the volatility in the world. But when you're flying around in this realm of everything, it's hard to make sense of anything. And that for me is been super powerful. In some sense, it's almost like, you step out of the matrix. It's like you're Neo and you could see the writing on the wall. It's like I look into the world and I can see all this economic activity and these incentives and why people are behaving the way that they are. And then I'm over here just with my Bitcoin, just in pure bliss.
That's the most amazing thing, though, is you see what it's done to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, look, I don't think everyone's going to go down this insane understanding of it as I have, but there's this subtle bit of that solidity, that unchanging system that you can now build from, this stable foundation. And I think from that, you get at least seeping in of all the things we're talking about, of all the things that we had to think about differently from learning about Bitcoin. We dove in full on. We really attacked things. But those things seep in a little bit just because the baseline has changed. And so if those things seep in a little bit for 8 billion people, the world just gets so much different. And I just get, yes, there's going to be some calamity, some teardowns of the current system that causes volatility in whatever sense. And that is absolutely scary. But I think that's what people are focused on when they're depressed, the direction we're going, where when you have that strong base to stand up and you can pick your head up out of the water and look around and see the future we're going towards, hopefully what we're fighting for.
Yep.
It gives you a lot of drive to want to build more, because
it does.
You're like, I want to really benefit. I want to really enjoy the world that's coming
and see and be around long enough to see the change. Yeah. Gosh, it's such a big deal, and Bitcoin, I hear a lot of Bitcoiners talk about their concern for the people who don't get Bitcoin. And maybe I've just lost my mind here, but Bitcoin is, as far as I can tell, making the world better for people who don't own Bitcoin. Like the fact that I sold my house and I sold my property and I live in a rental today, like I'm not bidding for a house here in Miami. That's downward price pressure on houses. Like you don't own a bunch of rental properties. So that's better for people who want housing. And every day more people are waking up and figuring this out, and they're selling all of their other, I don't even consider them to be assets. They're selling all their other things that they've been holding. I think literally everything on planet Earth is a liability outside of Bitcoin. But that's making it better for the people who need those things for their utility value.
Absolutely.
And it's happening. It seems like it's happening faster and faster and faster.
Yeah,
it's pretty
definitely
mind-blowing.
picking up steam, getting easier. It's seeped into the consciousness of people. As we were talking about earlier, like my first 4 years of Bitcoin were all under this oppressive, antagonistic regime of what the Biden administration was doing. And I think all of us Bitcoiners, especially people who really figured it out in 2020, are like, wait, what's going on now? They're like, we want to fight something.
Yes.
And, you know, we're fighting Bitcoin treasuries and paper Bitcoin, and like they're taking over Bitcoin. And I mean, if there's any infiltration into Bitcoin development, it's been happening. Like, there's no ignoring this stuff from the whatever CIA perspective. But like, I don't know, we don't want to get complacent, and it's such an important thing that there's no rest, but there's a moment of like, whoa, it's happening. And also it's weird that that's like kind of not reflected in the price, you know, but also it's up 6x, 7x, you know? So it's a bit of perspective when you got in. I like to say I only buy tops. Yeah. So I'll see the future when we get to another top or whatever. But it's a wild time right now. There's a lot of wanting to fight because you've always had a competitor. And I love seeing any optimism, hey, we're not complacent in saying we're winning, we're going to win. We have to win. But where are things right now? This is pretty wild to see. And I just kind of appreciate all the people who are in it with us from this beginning point, because we are in a different phase of Bitcoin now. Absolutely. And it remains to be seen what happens, but things are accelerating, going in a very different direction. One big opponent has disappeared. And I don't know, it's very uplifting for, like, we're part of this fourth turning, right? And we're like, I'm always sitting here like, oh man, things are going to get so bad over the next 5 to 10 years. Something really bad is going to happen because of these rotations through history. What if it doesn't?
That's where I'm at, you know, and being a little bit woo woo and spiritual in my ways. I'm like, you know, I'm going to stop focusing on that. Like, you know, it's all probabilistic and the future has yet to be determined. But I'm starting to not, and maybe this is that part where I don't want to be delusional, but at the same time, like, it doesn't feel good personally to be all screwed up over that. Like, you know what, I think it's going to work out well. I have this intuitive feeling, this belief that it's going to go the way that we want it to, but that doesn't mean that I'm not taking action, but it definitely just feels better to believe that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'd take the weakest bull market ever in exchange for the weakest fourth turning ever.
I like that. That's so good.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, click here to find more just like it, and here to find our most recent episode. Also, make sure to like this video to help shine light on the corruption of money, and be sure to subscribe to this channel to stay connected.